What's good, everyone? It's Nigel here, Black Stakes Apparel. And I said leg day was loading. And here it is. It was a brutal session. It was a squat heavy session. It's typical of my leg days, to be honest. They are very squat heavy indeed. It's what I do. It's what I find works for me. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed this session. So I started off as normal, warming up. Like I said to you on previous videos, warming up is absolutely crucial, especially here in the UK where it's so damn cold at the minute. Winter has arrived and of course, regardless of where you are, you should warm up sufficiently before you start your session. So I did about 3 or 4 sets of 60 and 100 kilos before moving on to my working set. As the last thing you want to do is get yourself injured, lower back injuries, knee injuries, that sort of thing. Anyone who find that they suffer a lot from knee injuries and whatnot, you should really make sure you're warming up sufficiently before you start your exercise. So I would say get on a bike and warm up properly. If you've got knee pain, you suffer knee pain, get on a bike and warm up sufficiently, and you'd find that makes a huge difference before before you start squatting or after you start squatting. So yeah, make sure you warm up sufficiently. So yeah, then I moved on to my first working set here. My first working set, 180 kilos. I went straight in for 10 reps. And this was a bit of a struggle, to be honest. It felt a bit heavier than normal today. I don't know if you guys have or experience the same, but for all you guys that go out and lift and you train, you know, as I get older, I'm more in tune with my body as well. And I understand that there are some days that I am a lot stronger than some, and that's dependent on how much sleep I have, etc. Right? So if you have enough sleep and you eat sufficiently and whatnot, you should find that you are a bit better in the gym, and that's only normal or natural. Really makes sense, doesn't it? So today it felt little bit heavier, but either way, I pushed through. 180 for 10. I did that for three sets before I dropped back and went 180 for 5 because by then my the fatigueness had started kicking in. So, I started backing off because I wanted to do some drop sets. So, this, like I said, this was a squat heavy session, a squat loaded session. A lot of squatting went on during this session before I moved on to the leg extension, as you would see later on in the video. So here, this was my, my final set, my final back off set where I did 5 reps, dropped it down. After doing 3 sets of 180 for 10, I backed it off to a set of 5, 1 set of 5 before I went on to drop set. There is no rationale behind it. It's just because I was so fatigued and I knew I wanted to do some drop sets. So if I tried to get 10 reps here, I would not have been able. I've been less capable of getting the drop sets as I wanted to do. This was a brutal session, guys. I make no bones about it. I really felt it this session, and I'm so happy that I have these sessions where, you really feel it, and these sessions you have to just push through. You can't, if you decide to lapse on these sessions and go easy on yourself or feel sorry for yourself, this would eventually show for me on stage. If I take days off or lapse, it doesn't bode well for me on stage. So yeah. Then I moved on to my drop sets here. I did 2 sets of these drop sets. This was brutal. And I tried, the idea was to get 180 for 5, 140 for 10, 100 for 10, and 60 for 10. I didn't achieve that. I believe I did 180 for 5, 140 for 5, 100 for 10, and then 60 for 10. And that in itself was, brutal is the word of the day for me. The entire session was brutal. So, I really felt it. But like I said to you about drop sets, you cannot miss with these drop sets. I incorporate them in every session I do, pretty much, whether it be biceps or, leg day. I add, some form of drop set. And I do that because I want to feel that I have pushed everything out on that session. And the only way, or not the only way, or the best way for me to do that is drop sets. Hence why I'm a massive advocate for drop sets. They are painful, granted. So, like I say, I make no bones about it. They're not easy. So this is why you should do it. Anything that's not easy in the gym is the thing that you should do, right? I'm sure, you know, you don't see people squatting frequently at your gym, whatever gym you go to, as much as you see them benching or hitting shoulder presses. You don't see them using a squat rack as much. And the reason is because it's so damn difficult. So yeah, this is why you should do it. They say your foundation, you're not going to build a house without the foundation, right? And that's where your physique starts. Your physique starts with your leg. And like I say to you before, those of you who watched my previous videos, if you train your legs, it's not just your leg that grows, the rest of your body grows with it. So it's so crucial, so important that you train your leg, you train them well, you train them sufficiently. And the science behind it mean that the rest of your body grows as a result of you training leg, not just your legs. So if that's some motivation for you to train your legs, there you go. Remember, it's not just your leg, the rest of your body grows with it. So yeah, like I said, I did 2 sets of these at the end before I then moved on to front squats. So I kept it fairly light on the front squats, only 100 kilos. I say only 100 kilos. Well, for me, it's fairly light, 100 kilos. By then, I was so fatigued, there was no way I could really go. Well, I probably could if I really pushed it, to be fair, if I really pushed it. But yeah, I felt comfortable with 100 kilos for 10 reps. And I went on to do 4 sets of these before moving on to my next exercise, which was backward lunges. Backward lunges. So yeah, I can say to you, this session was very squat heavy. It's so for a reason. I have these days where I go to the gym and I focus on squats. My next session probably wouldn't be as squat heavy as this. I'd probably start off on leg extensions and really target the hamstrings, lying leg curls, and walking lunges, etc. Anything that would target my hamstrings, and it would be essentially it'd be a lot less squat heavy. So this is how I mix it up. Let's face it, on squat days, on a squat heavy day like I'm doing today, you will hit predominantly your quads, but of course you will hit your hamstring as well. You cannot squat and not hit your hamstring, but squatting doesn't target the hamstring as much as it targets. It doesn't target it doesn't target the hamstrings as much as it targets the quads. If I could get my words out. So yeah, today was this session was focused on the quads, hence the squat heavy session. So the single leg backward squat is one that I do on most squat session. It's good for isolation. It's great for targeting the quads and the glutes and the hamstrings as well. And it's one I enjoy doing for the all round. I don't know, the all round targeting of the legs, I suppose. So yeah, if it's one you don't do, I'd say add this to your leg session. If I had mentioned already, I did 4 sets of these, 4 sets of 20 before moving on to your conventional leg extension. And this was a welcome relief from the squats I was doing. So like I said, it was a very squat heavy session. So it's always good to sit down and do some leg extension. Though this felt really, the burn was sensational doing this, having fatigued the quad so much doing the squats earlier. moving on to the leg extension, and I really felt it. So this session, I've got to say, guys, it was a bruising session. I enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed pushing myself. Did 4 sets to these in the end. Can't remember. So I believe I did 15 reps, but whatever it was, I was very fatigued by the time I'd completed these. And then I moved on to 4 sets on the lion leg hamstring curls. Sorry, the lion hamstring curls, as you can see me performing here. And that was pretty much the end of my session. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope some of you could take some of what I did today on board. And hopefully I'll see you guys all in the next session. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you guys soon. Much love. Take care. Peace.